Man, oh man, oh man. Yo, the man. Hey, friends, man. I expected you to come late because you're always late. I can't believe
I broke the record. I broke the record.
you broke the record today, bro. Man, hey, who that on my wall back there, bro?
He said I was on time.
Who that on my who that on my wall back over there? That you next to my gloves? Come on,
Oh,
bro.
oh, what's up, man? Yes. Thank you, brother, for acknowledging your Boricua,
You
hermano.
know?
From
Yeah,
Rio
man.
Piedras, from Ramos Antonini Project, born but raised in Chirac.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. But this is Tales from the B side. Hopefully, everybody in here smash the like button. We're gonna have a little fun today. Frez is a good old friend of mine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes,
From the
sir.
hood, back from
Yes,
the
yes,
old hood.
yes. My humbling beginnings.
Your humbling beginnings and my humbling beginnings, right?
Right, right.
Hey, but I don't know nothing, Frez. I don't know nothing. I'm innocent, bro.
Right.
Hey man, but for those who've been sleeping under a rock, man, give them a little brief about who you are. Give them a little bit about your career and stuff, and the stuff you have overcame, man. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about me, my brother?
Yeah, yeah, you, man.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, man. Boxing, man. It was an outlet, man. I gotta say, cause growing up in the projects, one of the most, pretty diverse, but most egregious because it's like if we don't make it out of the projects, it's like we got no hope. And boxing, taught me to say no to gangs and drugs, man. And it wasn't easy, man. But man, the people that you grew up with, hey, man, you guys stick together, like glue. But you know, my older brother Hector Morales, he just had a birthday yesterday. He's, I guess, the big double nickel now. He inspired me. He used to bring a lot of trophies and see my mom so happy to see him bring these beautiful trophies from the boxing matches that he used to have, and that inspired me. I was 12 at the time, and when I finally had my first fight, I was 13. That's when I started. And man, the rest was history. Here I am, getting ready to tell you my history.
Yes, indeed, man. Thomas, man, I'm gonna pass it to you and then KG because I could talk to this man anytime I want.
Nah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, just welcome. I'm glad to meet you.
Likewise.
I've been following you for a long time. I'm Puerto
Oh,
Rican from the
cool.
Bronx. So and
Man, boy, that's my second home, man. New York's my second home, brother. Ever since I turned pro, they
yeah,
showed me nothing but love.
if you hear my wife laughing, she makes fun of me because she calls me a fake Puerto Rican. So every time I say that, she calls me. So if you hear her laughing, that's they making fun of me because I said I'm Puerto Rican. So
Oh,
she's
that's
mad
funny.
disrespectful. But of course, I married a Puerto Rican wife, so
Oh, Josh, I feel for you. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
But
Oh
yeah, just want
man.
to say welcome. I'm glad to meet you. And it's a pleasure, man. Thank you for coming.
Likewise, my brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man.
KG, I'm gonna give you the floor next, man, before I go.
What's good, Frez? I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, me and you were on the same panel. You know what I'm saying? We crossed paths. My hair wasn't as long, and you wasn't as gray around the face. You know what I'm saying? So,
All the
so
wear and tear, right, right.
yeah. So, but yeah, we were on a good. It was a solid panel because it was me, you. I think Layman Brewster was on that same panel.
Oh,
Like you know what I'm
who's
saying?
that
Yeah,
with? Who's the gentleman that did it? That did the
it
podcast?
might
Who
have
was
been
that?
Drew Titan. It might have. It might have been Drew. I can't it slips me who panel it actually was, but I
It,
know it.
it, it, it was Drew Titan.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's my man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
so
remember.
yeah,
Yes, I remember.
so
Yeah,
so you know what I'm
yes.
saying. So it's good crossing paths with you again
Likewise, brother. Likewise, man.
you know what I'm saying. And I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying.
Thank
So Connor had told me that what I'm saying he was bringing you on. So and I was like, and I've seen quite a few of your fights from you know what I'm
Oh,
saying coming up, and I'm like,
thank you,
yeah,
brother.
I know this motherfucker got some stories. You know what I'm saying because.
You already know.
So
Tales
it's
from the
good to have
crypt.
you here, bro.
Tales from the project crypt.
So it's good to have you here, man. Because yeah, yeah, the Chris Bird fight always comes to mind. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, but we gonna talk. So go ahead,
Man,
Carlos.
we definitely gonna talk, man. Before we get into the Fresno Kendo stuff, though, man. And I watch how quick he gonna agree with me, man. To me, the best Puerto Rican boxer to ever come out of Puerto Rico is Carlos Ortiz.
Man. It's crazy when I turned pro and when I first got my blessings, I got sent to Isla Verde, Papa Trinidad, put me in a hotel. And who do I run in when I was running? They were like, that's Carlos Ortiz. I'm like, huh? The boxer, the legend, the Puerto Rican? They're like, yeah, man. I'm like, man, I cannot believe I had a, man, man, I'm right next to the man, the legend, the folklore legend. And man, Kano, that was a great moment of me going to Puerto Rico, going back to my roots. I was born there, but then I came, my
Yeah,
mom made
yeah,
sure, I had a good bringing because, it was rough back in the days. And, man, when I went back home and Puerto Rico, open arms, had me come back home. And man, what legend I run into? Man, a great Ortiz, man, that was a great experience. And man, God, oh man, that man showed me none but love. He knew me more
yeah,
than I knew him. I'm like, wow, this dude's a historian. He's like, man,
yeah.
it's an honor just to be in your presence. And man, actually, did I send you that picture, Kano? Did I?
Yeah, I got the picture. I
Oh,
got
you
the picture.
do? Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Because I don't know what the hell I did when I'm like, ever since I gave it to you, I don't know what the heck I'm like, man, I told my wife, why did I put it, in your by your pictures and all? I'm like, oh, shucks. But anyway, you got it, Connor. That's good.
yeah, yeah. Hey, anytime Fred needs it, he say, "Yo, Connor, you got the picture?" And I'll send it to him on text. I'm gonna have to keep that on deck over here on the file specifically for Fred because he gonna ask me
Thank you.
about 20 more
Gracias,
times.
man.
I know,
Gracias.
But
Right,
yeah,
right.
man. Hey, this show is Tales from the B side, and I don't know how much of a B side you were, but you had to have been B side a lot. So
Yeah,
I know you have to
unfortunately.
have some stories, man, because this is
Mhm.
what we want to kind of bring is anything that would educate folks about what fighters that are on the B side have to endure and go through, and little things that people may not know about it, man. So you could start out, man, with one that sticks to your forefront of your mind that was really like, damn.
It's just you say that, man. It's crazy. I had to prove myself from day one once I turned pro. Even though I was the national Golden Glove champ, the first Puerto Rican heavyweight national Golden Glove champ, back in '93 when Bill Clinton was just got elected. We were at that McDonald's. I had the privilege to meet the president at that time, normal president we had at the moment. But and man, it was iconic because I'm like, man, I'm a kid from the project, got my first flight traveling, and man, who did I run into? The most famous, powerful human being. And I mean, man, 1993. Not only that, I got to meet a lot of great figures, boxing. David Reed. To this day, we still keep in contact, and of course,
Uh-oh, must have got a call.
Hate when that
He'll
happen.
be back. He'll be back.
They get the cooking and then
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Hey man, I've had
David
to
Reed,
send
huh?
him that picture a billion times, bro,
Mhm. And
because he
look,
misplaces it.
that same panel that was on, I think Jeff Mayweather was on that panel.
Uh-huh.
Who
Yeah, it
else
was
was?
Drew Titan show.
Yep. So yeah,
Yeah, he got a phone call for sure, man. Damn, man, he was just getting ready to start cooking good too.
yeah, man, that was a good one right
So
there.
he's got a relationship with David Reed. Then David Reed, the one that fought Trinidad, right?
Yeah, he's got a relationship with him, the real Rick Ross. Man, let me not tell the man's story, man.
Okay, yeah. I
But
want to make sure when he said David Reed, that's what I thought of right away. That he was
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah,
Olympics
yeah, yeah,
and he
yeah,
fought
man.
Trinidad.
I mean, he's got a lot of things to talk about, man. I mean, when he got pardoned by Chicago, he's got a lot of stuff, man. That
Yeah.
let me see. I'm gonna let
He's a
him know.
decorated amateur, like he was saying. He got over 100 wins in the amateurs.
Let me see.
You know, I think he got like 105 wins, 106 wins, or something like that in amateurs.
oh, can you hear me now?
There he goes.
there you
I'm
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I
yeah.
just man, they be calling me left and right. I apologize. Where did
It's
we
all
left
good.
off at, gentlemen? I'm
They should don't
so
tell the story. Don't tell the story. Not enough. Not enough for crap.
right, right. The tales for the Crip story for the project.
Yeah, you was talking about your relationship with David Reed, and you was going on from there on your
Oh
first
yeah, yeah,
Tales
yeah.
from the B side.
So yeah. So So once I broke out through the amateur ranks, this was back in the early '90s, mid '90s, and then I started doing some traveling. Because I started when I was 13. So when I was 19, I ended up going to the nationals. I finally won, and man. it was a great honor that I was had a great class. David Reed, to this day we still keep in contact, and probably one of the greatest fighters probably today. But we all have our own opinions because I know who's my greatest fight, real greatest fighter of all time. But we'll talk about that a little later. But anyway, had Floyd Mayweather as a teammate, David Diaz, my stablemate, we grew up with as kids. We both started together, and many other world champions at that time in that year. And man, the rest was history, man. I ended up winning that, and I had hope. I had belief not only in myself and in my boxing career. A lot of people didn't think I ended up making it. To the pro, bet alone be a heavyweight. A
Mhm.
champion, and I defied my odds. But go ahead, brothers. Any questions?
Go ahead, Thomas.
Well, one. I don't know if you was. I think you was a B side, but I don't know if you had problems per se in negotiations, stuff like that. But I know you had problems going into this fight with Holyfield. I think you were sick in this fight, sick before.
Yes,
That was tough.
yes. I still got the paperwork. I had 104 degrees fever. A lot of actually family members and people recommend me I should take off the fight. But the next day I felt a little better, but I still was sick. I still wasn't 100%. And this is an opportunity of a lifetime. To showcase my skills and talent and beat this legend. Convincingly. And I wasn't 100%, and I ended up taking it. Gamble. Risk it. But I still, the whole boxing world thought I appointed them and did what I did.
Yeah,
And it was a dedication to my second mom, my wife's mom who passed away months before that fight. Sylvia Willis, may she rest in peace. And it was just the motivation I had. Even though I was sick as a dog, you have proof of that. But I just want to get that victory in her honor, which in people's hearts I did. Unfortunately, the politics of it, the promotion, it was all with Holyfield. But to this day, people know, who put those hands on who.
yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, you won almost every stat in like every round. Maybe the first round. The first round, I think he dropped you. All right. I don't know if they called it a knockdown, but I think he dropped you first. But after that, you pretty much outlanded him the rest of the fight, except maybe like one or two rounds.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he hit me with a good punch, and I was off balance. But as you can see, it was a flash knockdown. I mean, a
Mhm.
flash knockdown. Any knockdown, it's frustrating because, like, damn, man, it's not like I'm hurt, wobbly,
Yeah.
and one more punch away from getting stopped. Nah, I was cool, man, and it's
Mhm.
just, I was off balance and got that knockdown. But I came back even stronger, and I did what I had to do, and it was a great experience, and to this day, me and Holyfield see each other at the conventions, at the WBC convention, and Hall of Fames and stuff like that. So, it's great to see a legend that I grew up watching and idolizing as well. I was an eighth grader when I ended up sneaking into one of these closed circuit shows in Chicago. It's called the Park West. Risking my little life, man, my freedom because I couldn't wait to see that fight with Mike Tyson and who was that Spinks at the time. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up fighting Mike Tyson. I was still an amateur. I was in Russia at that time. And I won my fight. That was my last amateur fight. And here I am, damn, fighting against looking across the ring, and I'm fighting the man that I grew up as amateur. Just idolizing as he's whooping everybody.
Mm.
Mhm.
Nice.
Go ahead, KG.
Look, the way Holyfield used to fight in those spurts back in the day, you know how you just jump out and explode.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Could,
yeah.
could you read that, or was it random? He would just be, you know what I'm saying? He would just be able to just jump off on you.
You know what? Yes, he could do that. Majority of opponents that he faced, yes, in his world championship, yes, he was able to do that because they were right in front of him. I neutralized that because of my defensive mechanism.
Mhm.
My reflexes, didn't give him the chance to make those moves because if I counter him, he knows, he felt my power, so he didn't want to make those mistakes. And knowing that I was younger, 10 years younger than him, and he didn't want to make the mistake. But man, it was a great experience, man. Let me tell you, he could punch, even though, he may not hurt me in that fighting like that, real bad or not. But yeah, he's got a punch. That's why he was a champion.
Mhm.
Let me ask you, man, WBA, can you talk about the situation with the WBA, or is that still something on a hush hush? Or
No, 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 no. We're gonna say it all out. Actually, we getting ready to go to war with them once again. I mean, all these years, that, from back in 2014 after I whooped Ruslan Shigaev, even after it was 214, I was supposed to get my rematch, which I signed a rematch clause. If the fight's controversial or the public think I won, I gotta get that region, which they did. Eventually they just didn't pay me at that moment, so I had to go to the courts, and I'm pretty sure you see I won the case and all that. So the mandatory fighter for Ruslan Chigaev was me, of course, but these crooked ass commission and of course what's that Gilberto Mendoza, he's a cutthroat dude. Oh, don't worry, Fred, I'm gonna get you next. Just let Ruslan whoop Pineda and all these other fights. So I end up, falling for his fucking traps and stuff like that. But the good thing, legal side of it, it protects my federal rights. So to this day, they're shitting bread because they don't have to settle with me. Because, yeah, you want to hear breaking news, man? I'm just fine for, I'm just at the moment, waiting for that right time. He's getting in good contact with that Turkey guy over there, Al Sheikh from, Saudi Arabia and all these powerful money guys. But I got leverage on Gilberto Mendoza. He violated my federal rights, my Muhammad Ali rights, the act. And yeah, you're gonna hear some big news on that. That's gonna be brawling very, very soon, brother. I should bring that up, and I hope the whole world hears this.
Yes, indeed, man. And see, that's part of being a B side to me, man, because that's
Yep.
that's the kind of shit that they'll try to pull on the
Yes.
B side. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep. Exactly, my brother. 100%. Yes.
That's a real
KG.
staple right there. But remember when I spoke earlier and I said something about the Chris Bird fight. As far as that fight, I'm not a fan of this guy, but he does say the right things sometimes. Larry Merchant.
Mhm.
And the way he had called out Chris Bird, as far as what they was called when the fans were saying bullshit, bullshit in the crowd because of the call of the fight, and it should have went in your favor.
Right.
And it was almost like George Foreman and Larry Merchant was having a conversation because George Foreman said sometimes the fighter got to speak up
Yeah.
and say something.
God
You
bless his
say
soul.
you say you got to say something. You're like, bro, no, I didn't. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I don't
It's
know
that.
how, as a fighter, you're supposed to say it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, no, you're right. Because Foreman, he's an Olympic gold medalist, world champion several times. So he has experience, and he's been hit around the time and been robbed too when he fought Shannon Briggs and other fights. Just, the name, well, not the Jimmy Young outclassed him in Puerto Rico. I was a little baby back then when my mom and dad went to go see his fight. So he did got beat by Jimmy Young. But Foreman, he went through all those mishaps, like I said, with the
Mhm,
Shannon Briggs and yeah, man, I was just in shock still. I was just like, man, I'm thinking like, man, is this a dream? I gotta get a rematch. I mean, that's common sense. The people's gonna want to see this. I mean, this is unbelievable. And then, once Don King's involved and all that good stuff, that was my last fight. He knew I wasn't gonna have that do part of my business. He put a caboose on it, and it's crazy how boxing is, man. And that's why I was, just end up getting my papers, my walking papers from that dude because he knew, I was, I had probable cause to sue him. But
mhm,
this is how boxing is. Some people end up getting, frustrated and just forget it, get weak, and just lose and just quit. Not me, man. I came from the mud. I came from third world at the time, Puerto Rico, to the American dream. Even though I lived in a housing projects, it wasn't easy. It was in Serengeti. Made it through that, and ain't nothing could deter me, you know what I'm saying? With all these
mhm,
controversies in my, the B side and all that. And here I am today, thank God, I still got my marbles. A lot of those world class, Hall of Fame fighters, they're not mentally capacitated like myself, sharp, still with
mhm,
my health, still weighing the same weight that I was when I was in, my prime, 225. I slipped up a little bit this past weekend. The kids got out of school, so I ended up, eating a little bit out my way. So I'll do a little 5 miles tomorrow. But other than that, my health is fine. And, I got my little mini me. That's Riley. She's hearing daddy talking about boxing. So she's, she might be my little next champ for the Oquendo family. But anyway,
That's right. That's right.
yeah. But yeah, man, this boxing game is interesting. A lot of people mess around, and just give up and quit. Something, not me, man. I came from nothing. So here I am. Now that kind of brought up the WBA. We getting ready to make some big news.
okay, that's what's up.
Yes, indeed, man. And look, this is the fourth episode we've done, and I've never asked any of them this, but I'm going to ask you this. what advice would you give to a B-side fighter?
As far as fighting wise or negotiation wise, contract wise.
The whole thing.
Give him
Okay,
something. Yeah.
always stick to the people that been in your back from day one, from saying from the amateurs or from you turn pro. The people that had your back in good faith, not because they want their pockets fat, to help you succeed in life. Those are the people you can never turn your back to. Because a lot of fighters tend to go up and make those moves. Oh, this guy got all these flashy cars, flash money, and all that, and they're artificial. They're fraud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've had that happen, but thank God, I had my own. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed. I made good investments, so I was able to weather the storm and do my thing, which I'm still doing now.
Mm.
Yes, indeed, man. Go ahead, Thomas.
That's a great answer. Another fight, where I thought was pretty much a lot of people thought also, besides the Chris Berger, was James Toney.
Oh,
That was a clear robbery. That was,
yeah.
I think that was like robbery of the year that year.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's crazy because it was that network that just came out, and I was the main event. Matter of fact, Andre Ward was the co-main event. The Olympic gold medalist at the time. He was just up and coming at the time, and I was the main event. And what was that network? What network was it that we fought in?
Oh, I
Versus
don't
something.
know.
It's called. Was it Versus? Something like
Was
that.
it Versus? I don't.
I
Versus
don't know.
was fairly new, but I don't know. That was
8.
2007 or 2008. 2008, yeah,
Yeah,
2008.
yeah, yeah. But that network, we were like the biggest, name at the time, and it
Let
was
me
getting
see
ready to
if I
blow
can.
up. But once they seen that decision, it's crazy that I think my fight or the next fight was the last fight they televised, and they they pulled the plug. And nah, we ain't rolling with these this type of boxing
You're talking about
system.
the James Stoney fight?
Yeah,
All
yep,
right.
yep.
It says Goosen was the
Yeah,
promoter.
yeah. Goose was yeah, Goose was the promoter, and yeah, the fight. He's been my promoter. He's the one that turned me pro. Those were my first
USA.
promote
It says USA versus is what it says. USA
So it was
versus.
Versus then.
versus
Yeah.
versus. There you go,
Mm.
versus. Yes, yes. After my fight, once they seen the corruption of the sport, and everybody knew I won, like you were just saying, my Boricua, they ended up cutting the caboose. They cut it off, and that was it. Yep, our fight was the last national fight.
Yeah, because that was a robbery. That was not that fight to me wasn't even that close, and
I even heard him. I don't know if you
yeah,
seen that run round, overhand right. He wobbled and everything. I almost knocked him down. And man, it was just, it's crazy, man. But
yeah,
Well, the thing about it was they took a point from Frez, man, supposedly for a rabbit punch. So
for a rabbit punch.
right,
Yeah,
rabbit punch. No, I mean, I'm like rabbit punch. That's crazy. Yeah, it's some clown show.
crazy work, man.
and if they
Crazy
don't,
work. I
yeah,
know.
if they don't take the point, it would have ended up in a draw. I think because I think
Yes,
that point,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
so it's a
yes,
split decision. But either way,
yes.
it shouldn't even have went to that because
Exactly.
it was
Yes,
a
my
clear
brother.
win.
Yes,
You
yes. You're
know,
right. Yep, yep.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. I saw that I was supposed to meet up with you in Florida when you was with Rick Ross, man. Can you tell me how you met Rick Ross and how is it being around him?
Oh man, that's a downer, but it's crazy how I'm like, he's like a folklore legend in the projects where I grew up at. I remember him at the age of 13, hearing about him,
Yeah.
before he got locked up, whatnot. And it's crazy. I get out, I'm like, man, I managed fighters and this and that. Oh, I know you, Oquendo. Oh man, you knocked out the Black Rhino. You beat David, Olympic silver medalist David Eisen last. I mean, I'm like, damn, man, this dude knew who I mean, man, it's an honor. And for this man, I've been hearing about him since I was a shorty. It was a great moment because he has fighters. So he had a couple of his up and coming fighters fighting on that card in Daytona. And man, he was so down to earth, man. Real cool brother, man. Yeah, I even got his number to this day. He always say, "What's up, Fred? Happy birthday." And it's great to keep in contact with a legend who's doing well. He's doing very well. He invested in the cannabis dispensary business, which I'm still trying to do that myself. Now that I smoked weed back in the days, but you know, uh, I mean, I'm gonna encourage you. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, keeping it clean. But yeah, man, he's doing well. That man do not lick a sip of soda, liquor to say that, smoke any. Oh no, that dude's the cleanest. He's only the vegan. And man, he's doing that inspired me to stop eating red meat. Man, it's been 4 years. Matter of fact, it was like 4 years ago. Kind of night you mentioned that when I was kicking it with him a half a decade ago. And man, it was cool, man. Yeah, I stopped eating red meat, man. Ever since then, that's why I got back down to my prime weight, 225. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Normalized.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, you
Man,
got. Mhm.
how was it, man, when you got pardoned, man, by the governor, man?
Oh, it was a major relief. It was like a gorilla off my back because I've been trying to get funding for my foundation. Remember, I founded the Fobo Foundation in 2009. Preventing youth violence through boxing. And I was been trying to get grants from the city and state and the county, and they've been giving me a hard time because of my background. Remember,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I had, I was a knucklehead out there with, the drugs, guns, and the madness. But thank God, like I said, boxing saved me from all that. And that's what was holding me back, as far as doing my passion. Because when I retire, when fighters retire, you gotta have something you want to do. You want to be a news anchor, commentator, whatever it is, And my thing is to give these kids a second chance, hope, that I didn't have growing up. And man, I was able to have those tools. And my wife, she works in a non-for-profit business, back in the late 2000s, stuff like that, and we founded the Fresno Kendall Boxing Academy, which is Fobo Foundation. And man, here I am, man, moving, doing things, saving kids' lives, and check out my Instagram, Fobo Foundation. You see all my beautiful, beautiful, hard but loving work, because this is what I love doing, changing lives, making sure these kids take the right path before they go to the, before they inch closer to the dark side.
What's going on, Frontline? No, he's not in Florida. He comes down here for the Florida Hall of Fame and for other little ventures and stuff like that. He lives in Chicago, man. You know what I'm saying? He a Chi-Town baby. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
saying?
I was raised, man. I was born. Like I said, I was born in the projects, and Ramon Antonini, which Cano is very familiar with, one of the most notorious, fucking meat grinder
Project.
projects, man. You see people get chopped up, man. It's
Mm.
crazy. Me and Cano was talking about chopping it up a couple of years ago, and we knew the same people that did that. It's crazy because my uncle knew those dudes in person, and my
Yeah.
dad, but I didn't know nothing about it because my mom she got me away from all the madness and brought me to civility. You know what I'm saying? Civilization.
Yeah, I was there for the whole thing though, man. Fred's left. I was there, but
Right, right, right.
but
Yeah.
nah, man, it's crazy, man, because well, yeah, I ain't gonna tell that story right now.
Right,
We'll
right,
leave
right,
that
right.
alone, man. That might not be good for the internet. I don't.
Yeah, it's the past. That's the
Yeah,
dark
yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But go ahead,
yeah,
KG, man.
No, but that goes to show that the reform system is a joke. You know what I'm saying? And you are doing your part by trying to carve it out. You know what I'm saying? By
yeah.
doing something. So guys that have gone through it and have
Mhm.
shown change and want to be a change, those guys that get the funding
Right.
for said
Yep.
programs.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I'm like, who better to learn from? Look, when Buddy was writing the fake checks back in the day, Catch Me If You Can guy,
yep, yep,
they end up
yep,
then they end up hiring him. You get what
yep,
I'm saying? So why wouldn't I want that? You know what I'm saying?
yep.
Yep.
I want
Common
the
sense.
hardest of the
Yep.
hardest to scare these kids straight and get them on
Right.
the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? And show them what it
Exactly.
actually is. Show them is that there are actual options out here that they can, and it ain't just for going toward drugs or going to basketball or even just going to boxing. It's more to life. You know what I'm saying? To what it is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
You- mhm,
you
mhm.
taking that approach, like I said, I can appreciate that in a sense.
Thank
We
you.
talked to Justin Paldo earlier. We got a phone call again,
Yeah, you got a
and
phone call again. So
yeah,
good. So good.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, like I was saying, we talked to him earlier and how he spoke about having the underdog mentality already. You know what I'm saying? So these kids that Frez is taking under his wing and you know what I'm saying, going through this little institution that he's trying to get started up, it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
So
Because
Fred's on the web.
those morals right there, those core values are what's going to be driven into them. Because
Yeah.
you hear it's coming off of Frez, you know what I'm saying, to this day.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to let you know this is where I was from. This is what I
Yeah.
had to go through. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Most kids today, they take that and say, "Oh, I want to go live through that." No, you don't. If it's taught properly, you don't want to go live through
Yeah.
That's why,
that.
hey, that's why I put the brakes on there. He was going left, and I ain't want to talk about the past. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Not that this. I ain't want to go deep into the past, and I know it could have went there quick. But
Mhm.
so I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and hit the brakes on that right now, because man, you had people looking at me crazy.
Mhm.
But like I
Yeah.
said, like everything, that's the past, and it's the same thing with him. That's the past for him.
Mhm.
I'm just glad he got pardoned, man, because he's doing a lot of good things for the community over there. He's working with the youth, man, and that boxing, in the boxing ring and all that other good stuff. And I mean, everything he's doing is positive, man, and it's for the better of the
Mhm.
youth over there. He's keeping people off of the streets is what he's doing, man, and that's to be commended. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm glad they partnered, but I think they waited so long to do it that they should have did it way earlier than that, man.
Mhm.
But
But
you know,
that's the freeze out process. They do that with everybody. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
On any aspect of life, it ain't just sports. It's just life. They'll figure out a way to freeze you out. They'll be like, Lord, let me try to get the best out of them before we give it back.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What are your thoughts on some of that stuff, Thomas?
No, I think that's pretty awesome. I agree with what you guys saying as far as they freeze it out unless they feel like they could bring something to the table to help them personally. They don't care about the communities and stuff. You know what I'm saying. So I mean, I think that's a great thing what he's doing. I come from we all come from backgrounds where we're not in the best of neighborhoods and stuff. And I come in the Bronx. Growing up, I was fortunate, and I was able to give back. I coached baseball right in by Bronxdale Projects in Soundview, and I coached Little League Baseball for like 12, 13
Apologize.
years, so
You see
That's
me?
all
yeah.
good, bro. We know you got a phone call.
Oh man, he's not with my son. It's just sad that they over here trying to beat the system, but I don't want to say it over the. We'll talk one on one, brother. I'm dealing with some personal stuff with my own kids, man.
Mm.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
I seen growing up. It's just we'll talk more about it, in person when I talk to you. I apologize. You won't hear no interruptions. Cause my wife, she was a nervous wreck. My son just disappeared, so you already know where I'm going at.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. We'll
Yeah,
keep that offline. We'll keep that
yeah,
offline, man.
yeah.
It ain't
Thank
like
you,
I ain't
brother.
got. I went through some
Yeah.
stuff like that with mine too. So,
Oh, so you already oh you already it's like
but
it's like where do we go wrong? I mean, I'm an athlete, anti no to drugs and guns and all that BS. But they want to be cool and all right, they're gonna learn the hard way.
well, my whole thing was, that when I left Puerto Rico, man, and I started, because I didn't want to have my kids over there, right?
Yeah,
So I left Puerto Rico so my kids would not be raised over there, right? To keep them
yeah,
away from the life that I,
yeah, yeah.
that I chose when I was there.
Exactly.
They went.
Yes. Hmm.
And this is the problem, right? The problem was that at that time back then, my then wife, I sent her on vacation to Puerto Rico with the kids, and when they went to some of my family's house,
Uh-huh.
you know what they did, right?
Sheesh.
Oh, your daddy lived right here. Your daddy did this. Your daddy did that.
Mm.
Oh
He was running here.
wow.
He was running that. And what did they do? They got it in their head that they could be like their daddy.
Oh wow. Sorry to
You
hear that,
know,
brother. That's
and
that's rough.
but everything's straight now. But I mean, this was, I
Amen.
got him. I got him on the right track. It cost me a lot of money. Let me tell you something. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of money on lawyers and attorneys, bro.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
But everything's leveled out now, so it's all good. I can speak about it
Yeah.
because they good now. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
That's
I
good.
got so mad at my family because I'm like, bro, why would you do that? Why why
That's
why, why would y'all
crazy.
do that, man? I try to keep that away from them. Like I didn't even want them to know my life like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, no, I hear you. Riley, don't. I'm sorry to interrupt. You cannot
Yeah.
argue like that. My kids, I'm here at the park. I'm thinking they're gonna be behaving. And speaking of kids, I got my little 10-year-old, a 9-year-old. That's the last of my little litter. That's it. I'm done.
Hey, man, we pay for everything we did with our kids. You know that, right?
Right. That's our mom. That's our mom. They tell us these folklore legend stories.
Yeah.
Whatever we do to them, they're gonna come back. To haunt us back. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
They were
yeah.
100% right.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Thomas, man, you got something for him, man.
No, I'm good, man. Just listening to the stories and just getting to know Frez a little bit more.
What
So
about you,
yeah.
KG? You good? You
Yeah,
good?
I'm
All
mute.
right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm,
Fred's, like I said, we can pretty much do this all day, but Fred's gonna keep
Yeah,
getting calls, and
yeah.
Connor gonna keep want to talk about the old days that
Nah, not me. Not
that
me.
me and Thomas ain't gonna be able to relate to. We
Not
gonna be trying to
me.
like, oh, Oh,
Nah, not
okay.
me, not
I
me,
didn't know
not
that either.
me.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I tried to put the brakes on that, man. Come on, man. Fresno way more than y'all, so I ain't even going there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to go there, bro. Whew.
Hmm.
Hey, he said something. He said something more worse than me. He mentioned the carnicero, bro. I ain't even mentioned
I
them.
know that's crazy. That's crazy. They're like folklore legends. That's crazy, man. I remember hearing those stories.
Yeah, man. But we got some common people, man. Like I'm real close with uh Nate Campbell, man, and Nate Campbell
Oh
and
man,
Fresno
that's my
Kendo
big
have a
bro. Oh, I love that brother.
yeah, man.
Good
And
man.
yeah, he's a good man, man. And like I tell people, boxing is a small world. It's a
Yep.
small circle, man. When you start bumping into people, man, usually everybody eventually knows everybody. That's
Yep.
just the
Pretty
way it
much.
works.
Yep.
Um, but man, Fres, man, any other story that you have, man, that you might have been going into a certain fight as a B-side fighter that you was like, damn, I bet they didn't know that this was happening going into this fight. Anything?
Yes. When I was getting ready to fight Ruslan Chigar, I'm surprised you didn't hear about that. I mean, if you Google that,
No, no, no,
you'll
no,
hear.
no. I
Yeah.
want you to talk about it.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
last fight. His last fight.
Yes, yes. Official championship fight. Yeah. They
Yeah.
ended up, you know, I like 2 weeks before the fight, I was in great shape, but I ended up, my wife ended up going to labor, and it's unfortunate. The labor was real rough. My son, had complications, and my wife had more than anything. My wife had more complications. So, make a long story short, I had to call them. Let them know, listen, man, I gotta postpone this because I can't go because the birth. I sent them all the certificates. Everything showing proof. The doctors know that ain't nothing happened. They gonna stay in the hospital. And me getting ready to fight in another part of the world. What I'm saying, out there in Czechia. This third world over there. I didn't feel comfortable, and then, my mom and then, oh man, that's a third world. Oh man, they be shooting all the, that's, what you call it, the Islamic, you know, jihadists, I'm like, mom, no, that's that propaganda and that the media stuff, man. But make a long story short, so I end up telling the press, it's Kadyrov. He was the president of Chechnya. That, yeah, man, I'm in the hospital, he sees me and everything, they end up calling me because, it was a big thing. It was the biggest event. It was like the Olympics in Chechnya that they ever had, and I was getting ready to fight, which is a former Soviet republic, of Russia, of USSR. So I was gonna fight there, and man, making a long story short, some of the, when I went there, did my 2 weeks before the fight, ended up going over there because, again, I didn't train for 2 weeks because remember, my wife's going to labor and all that. So I told him, listen, I ain't been training, my wife, this and that. But, I was still in shape. I don't drink, smoke. So I was in good shape. So I went all in the chest there. And less than 2 days before the fight, I did my thing. And, man, a lot of people thought, everybody thought I won the fight. Another robbery, you know what I'm saying? And the next it's time to pay. These guys only gave me $250,000. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I signed $1 million contract. Where's my mail? Well, if you take this right now, they all had guns and shit. He's like, third world. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then, they threatened some of my handlers, like, man, listen, man, if you don't take this right now, but they started getting spooky. They're thinking like one of the people was talking. I guess if the president found out that these people was trying to punk me out, or not me, but my team out, try to take this less, money, they're gonna get on their ass. I guess they were trying to be slick and take some of that money that I was supposed to get paid, in cash. So yeah, man. Next, they only end up giving me, 250. And then, man, when I got to the States, actually, some of my teammates, they didn't give their visas back, their passports. So, they were terrified they're going to stay in that country and they're going to kill them. You know what I'm saying? They're like, damn, it's a Chechnya, third world, it's like Islamic. Motherfuckers going to get beheaded or whatever. So, one of my handlers like, man, Fred, please don't leave me. I said, no, I ain't going to leave you, no. I'm going to stay right here. They better, find that passport. So, yeah, it was a lot of controversy, man. So, I went through hell and back to try to get my team back home with me, man. So once I got back, you already know the ball was rolling, and you can look it up. The case, Frederick Kendall versus Turek. And I can send you that, and you could check it out and tell who's interested to know.
Mhm.
And when that's the case, I'm still fighting because of the WBA. They were supposed to do the right thing and give my championship. That guy wasn't supposed to defend his title against nobody but me. and they violated it. Here we are, uh, what, damn near 10 years later. Now Don King's to promote somebody for the WBA. What's that dude? The Michael Hunter or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's getting ready to fight somebody for the vacant WBA. Regular title. That's the title that I was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Fight 10 years ago. So yeah, so I have a lot of probable cause. So you know, it's just sad that these cutthroat promoters, Don King still 11, damn near 100, still doing the cutthroat things, knowing that they violated my federal rights. So that's very controversial. It's like, damn, man, that's the title that was supposed to be mine, and I'm pretty sure you can look it up. That Don King won the purse bid. This was like last week. He just won a purse bid with Michael Hunter versus somebody. I forgot who's the other person they're fighting. But it's Michael Hunter versus somebody else. I forgot who it is. But
It
yeah,
ain't
man. I was,
Frez. That's what we do know. It ain't Frez.
exactly, man. And that's sad, man. Even though I'm in my 50 club, I'm the big 50, but I feel great. I still train and I maintain a good health regimen. My vitamins, supplements. I live a good life, man. If people do the right thing for their bodies, it's like a Mercedes. If you put unleaded regular gas, it's gonna run like crap. But you put that premium gas in the Mercedes, it's gonna run like a champ. That's how it is with our bodies, man. Human bodies. You got to do it, and that's facts. Because I'm living proof of it.
Would you fight Jake Paul right now if he
Oh
send you a
man, I
contract?
called him out. It's one of my posts. If you check out my Instagram and Facebook, man, that dude's terrified. JB Flores, I guess that's his former trainer. He pretty
Yeah.
much know me very well. Actually, he was trying to fight me back, in that sweepstakes when we were fighting for that WBA, vacant title. When Shannon Briggs tested positive, he called me out. But yeah, he told Jake Paul that, man, that's a dangerous fight. You don't want to get down with Fred. That's even though he's damn near 50. That dude got them hands. Yeah, yeah. So
Got
now I
them
was hoping to
hands,
fight him.
bro. I
Yep.
tried, man. I tried. I mean, you know who I try to get a lot of these people might not know him, but he reached out to me, man. He called me on the phone and said, "Hey, Cano, talk to them folks, man, and see if I can get a fight with Jake Paul." And it was
Uh huh.
Francisco Palacio, the Wizard.
Yeah, how's he doing? Yeah, I remember him. My Boricua brother. He's cruiserweight. Wasn't he a cruiserweight champ or something?
Yeah, it's cruiserweight. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's going on with him nowadays?
Man, he's just down there in Miami training, man. He's still training and all that other good stuff, man.
He's a
Of course, he
trainer,
ain't
or
fight.
is he getting in shape?
He stays in shape. He's in
Oh,
shape,
okay. Oh, okay, okay. So
but
you don't have no bad habits, drinking, smoking, and all that.
but not that way. He smoked weed. He smoked hella weed, but I mean, shit, he
Uh-huh.
still trains.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
good. How much
yeah,
he weighs nowadays?
he still weighs about the same, man. I got
Really?
to stay away from him because when we was at the other event and we went up to the hotel, that motherfucker like pulled out a bunch of weed. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good, bro. But I can't fuck with you, bro. Can't fuck with you, bro.
Right, right, yeah,
I can't hang with you, bro. You know what
right.
I'm saying, man?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah,
nah,
man.
he does train folks from time to time, but he's doing it out of how do I say it? He's doing it in his home. It's kind of like the way Pinklin Thomas is doing it at his home, and he's
Oh,
got that.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
got that garage, man, set up with all the equipment and everything, and he'll
Okay.
do one on ones with people and shit like that. So that's
Oh,
similar
that's
thing to
cool.
what yeah, both of them do the same shit, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, Pekin and Thomas doing that to this day?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's cool.
Yeah, man. He was actually traveling to Ocala, the Tito Ocasio's gym, and was training a couple of people over there.
Oh, Rick Palacio was?
Where nah, Tito Ocasio, Tito.
Oh, Tito Gotcha. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, of course. That's my man. Yep, yep.
Yeah, so he was traveling over there, but then he was working with somebody Khalil Smoot at that time, and
Mm.
Khalil just didn't want to listen to him, so
Uh-oh.
Pinklin said,
Yeah.
"Man, fuck this shit, man.
Oh,
I'm
heck.
leaving this dude."
Yep, yep. We got time for the little pettiness. Yep.
Yeah, so he just does things out of the garage now, man, and works with people, man. But yeah,
Okay.
Francisco Palacios doing good though, man.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's still a little bit, crazy and shit, but
Right, right. He was raised in Florida. He's from Florida.
nah, he's just living there now. He's in Miami, nah,
Oh, okay,
nah.
okay, okay. Where's he from
Yeah, he's
originally?
Puerto Rico, man, and in
Oh,
the metro
okay.
area, man. He used
Already?
to hang out with a lot. He
Cool.
used to hang around Hector Camacho. Him and Hector Camacho used to hang out all the time.
Oh, the father?
No, yo, no, the one that died.
Oh, the father, right? Not Camachito, not the
Yeah,
son.
all right, correct.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
them
okay,
two.
yeah, man.
Hey, bro, if you would
I
have seen him back in them days, man, I'm like,
No,
oh boy.
I seen Camacho when he did one of his binges, and yeah, we were at Isla Verde because he had an apartment for many years. Camacho, this was back in 2003, man. I just got back from the Burr fight. Next, I see Camacho by Isla Verde, by the hotel because I used to stay over there. Man, he was tore up, man. He's like, man, Fred, don't tell no one. He started laughing, he hugged me and all
I
that.
don't know why
Sad,
he say that. I don't know why he would even say that because
yeah,
when we was back over
sad,
there, he go
sad,
to the
man.
Puente where everybody was hanging out at, and he was partying with everybody.
Yeah,
And I was
sad,
telling
man.
people, I told a lot of people, I don't know how he's beating all these people because this motherfucker was never sober, Nina. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they thought he was good then. Could you imagine if he would have
I,
been clean?
oh,
Yeah.
he would have been he probably been one of the greatest fighters in history. Yes,
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
With a good
Pedro,
chin. But
yeah,
go ahead.
the host that I do the radio at, Pedro Fernandez, he tells me stories about Camacho all the time.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
really?
I don't know if you know Pedro Fernandez, but
Sounds familiar.
he says he knows you as well. So,
Oh,
but he used to promote some fights for Camacho in Puerto Rico, and he said
okay.
Camacho even before fights he tells a story about one fight that he didn't even want to come out. He didn't want to fight, and he had to talk him into fighting. He came out and he got disqualified or headbutt or something. They called it a technical draw, and
Oh
like he was
wow.
high before the fight.
Yes, I've heard about it. I think I
Yeah,
know you're talking about. Yeah, older cat, right? Older than Macho. He's an older cat.
yeah. Pedro's up
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah. I think I met him. Yeah. Is he in Florida? Did he live in
No, it's in
Florida?
San Francisco.
Oh, he's in San Francisco. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I think I heard of that. Okay, from his
yeah.
son, Camachito was telling me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Old Camachito Jr. Yeah. Yep. Wait,
How's he
Fred, I ain't
doing?
gonna hold. Oh, he's doing.
Oh,
I'm in a little group. I'm in a little group chat on WhatsApp with him and all that, man.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, me, Francisco Palacio, and a few other people, man. We're in there, on the WhatsApp in a little group, and
Oh,
we
that's
all
cool.
communicate through there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I try
cool.
to, I try to stay quiet. I don't talk, I don't,
No,
you know. There he go. He got a call, man. I was about to end it. Hey, I was about to let him go, man, and give his last words, man. You know what I'm saying? But
he's keeping me.
There you go.
Hello? Can
yeah,
you hear me
yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah,
Can
yeah.
you hear me?
Hey,
You
nah,
don't
but
put your
man,
shoes on.
yeah, we can hear
Hello?
you.
Yep,
Yeah,
you
we can
did.
hear you.
You
Hello?
did. You did.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can't hear us.
we
He
hear
can't
you.
hear us. We can hear you.
Hello?
You can't hear us.
That happens when you get a phone call, man. They'll
Hello?
be able to talk, but they can't hear us.
Hello?
Yeah, we
Hello?
hear you. We hear you.
I can't
I
hear you. I
know. I
can't hear
Yeah,
know.
you.
I
yeah,
know. I know.
yeah.
Give it.
We
Hold
hear
on. Hold
you.
on.
We hear you.
Hold on. Hold on.
You don't
Hold
get
on.
your
Hold
shoes
on.
on.
Yeah.
Hello? I can't hear you.
Let me see. I'm gonna type. I'm gonna type. Hold on.
I can't hear you.
Look in there in that chat. Should be.
I can't hear. I can't hear
Oh
nothing.
man, he don't know how to see the private chat, huh?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, go back out and come back. Go out and come back. I just want him to get the last words, man. Even though that one story he gave us was pretty spicy, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I knew it. He knows I know it, but that wasn't the purpose. The purpose was for him to speak on it so that everybody else can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always better to hear it from the man himself rather than to Google it. It gets a different perspective to it. It's
Yeah.
has more substance to it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wikipedia put their own spin on it.
Yeah, man. Frez, that's my dude, Frez, man. Shoot. But I try, man. Yeah, I don't get into these. They be bringing me in them group chats. I don't even be wanting to be in them all the time, bro. Because
Mute. Man,
I don't know.
I got like 5 group chats that's muted right now that I don't
Yeah.
like. I should just leave them, but yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's cool because there's big time people in there and all that, but I just I know that just don't do nothing for me. You feel me, man?
It's,
Don't
it's,
do nothing for me,
it's
man.
annoying, especially when you leave your
Mm.
notifications on.
Yeah, I said, man, I've been around all these people all my life. That shit don't. They just, you know what I'm saying? Feels normal to me. So then I don't be want to hear the same shit all the time.
Shit, man. It's been another good one, man. We did double
Hmm.
duty today. Two good
Yeah.
ones.
I'm just sad that they kept getting phone calls, you know, because I
Yeah,
did want to. I kind of want to wait on him to see if he comes back so he can give his last words, but
yeah.
I'll give him that courtesy. If not, then
Skirt, skirt.
I'll tell you what pissed me off though, that Thomas wasn't able to, wasn't able to simulcast with me. That's bullshit.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, it's weird, but it is what it is. I mean, the other one was
And I
fine.
and the upcoming one went through too, right?
Yeah,
The
the
East
one, yeah,
Smith.
it gave me the option. I didn't add it yet, but it had gave me the option. So it's a
I
different.
don't
This
get it. I
one,
don't,
I think it's weird. I think it brought me straight to the studio instead of asking me. So it brought me straight to like, oh, you want to join? So maybe it's a, I don't know, a different link. It's weird, but I do know. I noticed that it's a different wording. So like, let me see. Like this one says restream. The other one said app.restream. It's something like that. It's weird. So like, let me go to the email. Wait,
all,
because what I
all
did
I do is
was,
hit invite guests and I copy the link it gives me. That's it.
yeah, I don't know why it's different. So
And
like
there's
even
only one
this
spot
one
I can
says
get it
app.
from.
Yeah, it says app.restream and then the link. But in this one with Frez, it
Mm,
doesn't have app in front of it. So I even tweaked it and put app.restream too. And it didn't work. I don't know.
I
But
don't know either, man. I don't want to hit refresh on that, but I'll take a
what
picture of
yeah.
it
I
so
could
you can
stream it
see.
like after the fact, download it, I guess, and put it in the videos and stuff. But you know,
Cause I only got one spot to pick it from. And it's that one where my marker's at. I'm gonna take a picture of it so you can see it.
okay.
He did come back, man. Let me bring him back in, man.
Nope, got another
Yo,
phone.
Frizz.
Oh,
Y'all can hear you now, man. Yeah. Can you hear us?
I don't think so.
Hey, man, go ahead and give us some last. Oh, man,
No.
Told you.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
So
You ain't
so
on here.
Kano, do you guys have the same favorite fighter? I know yours is Carlos Ortiz, Puerto Rican fighter. Who I wanted to ask what's his favorite Puerto Rican fighter of all time?
He might give you the same answer.
The
Actually, he
same.
might. I'm not gonna tell you he's gonna say his favorite fighter of all time, but Puerto Rican wise, it's probably gonna be the
Yeah,
same
that's what I
answer.
was
Carlos
asking. His
Ortiz.
favorite Puerto Rican fighter of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
I still think.
Man,
I mean, I like Benitez. To me, is my favorite. When I look at his career and what he could have been. He's one.
should I give BVO a Ranch Pro?
BBO
I'm gonna give.
always got something slick to say, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a wrench, man. I'm gonna give him a wrench,
Let
man.
me tell you, they announced that card with Xander July 26th here in New York, and so on the undercard is his favorite fighter. Emiliano's on it. I said, you got to come to
Don't mention that name.
That's his favorite fighter now. That's crazy.
I can't even
I,
understand that one, man. That makes no sense to me
it,
how that could be not because of his nationality, but I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. And you know what he said about him and Mason, right?
Well, Mason will school him, but anyway.
Yeah, but not but BVO don't think that, and BVO is from the same place that Mason is from. Even though BVO will tell you different.
You know what I understood about BVO, man? He loves to stir the pot, bro. Look at him. Look at him. Look what he say.
He
Let
said
me put it up. Let me put it up.
he's a monster.
He's a kitty cat.
Yeah.
A silent one. It don't even purr. It don't even purr. I
Oh
don't know if he's
man.
coming back in. I don't think he's gonna make it back in.
Hmm.
I don't think he's gonna make it back in, man. KG, what you think though, man? What you think of the whole stories he gave us. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, another episode from a different perspective. It's this was on a lawsuit situation where rights were in question. You get what I'm saying? So this is a different level of B-side. This is way outside of the ring. This is
Mm.
legal issues.
You know what's
B-side.
weird?
Look, hold on real quick. What he jerked, you know what I'm saying, jerked my brain is when he said I was supposed to make a meal. They gave me 250. I'm like, how the hell did that? That's a significant cut right there. That's not even me paying trainers or paying anybody else. That's
Right.
my
Yeah.
signature said a million beside it.
Yeah, that
Correct.
was that rubbed me the wrong way. That was crazy. And
Yeah.
then he's going to a
Yeah.
country, a foreign
He's in the
country.
third world. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I
Yeah.
mean,
They got guns drawn on them and all kinds. Man,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
come on now. That's
I'm
different
gonna have to
level B side. And you
I'm the
still
def.
and you still like stand on your square to be the boxer that you are. He could have tapped out from that point, man. I'm not getting back. I'm not fighting ever again. You know what I'm saying? That right there, I don't want to experience that no more. And
Yeah,
that's not even coming from the projects. That's coming from the projects that I didn't want to go through it no more there.
yeah,
And I have to
Mhm.
deal with, oh no, you know what I'm saying? That could have deterred him from that point, but no, stayed the course.
You know what's crazy, man? That he said something there, man. That was crazy to me, man. And I understand everybody had a different experience with Don King. I
Hmm.
really do understand that. And the reason I say this, because he had a bad experience with Don King, but his brother, the one he loves a lot, Nate Campbell, had a great experience with Don King.
Hmm.
So it's a situational thing with Don King, you
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
But I think that is across the board with any promoter, I would think. You know what I'm saying? That I've seen. You're gonna have your people that are happy with him, and you're gonna have your people that are mad with him, you know. So I think that's the same thing with Don King. Nate
yeah,
Campbell swears by Don King. He says, "Man, I got everything he told me he was gonna do. He gave me
Hmm.
everything."
yeah.
You
I've
know,
heard the same. Pedro says he's heard the stories, but he said that he's Pedro's funny. He says that a check never bounced. He said
yeah,
he never bounced a check on him. So he said he was happy with him. So,
yeah. And that's what I say, man. It's
yeah,
different folks, different strokes, and it is what it is. I believe Frez had, got the raw end of a deal with him. It just is what it is, man. Promoters, they're snakes just like anybody else. They all are. They're
Everybody,
gonna have their people. They're gonna have their people that they make sure they take care of, and they're gonna have the people that they just don't care about. It's whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
yeah.
Oh man, this motherfucker speaking Spanish,
Yeah,
bro.
he's a jerk. I swear to God. he's
What's he doing? He going to Google Translate or some
he has
shit?
to be doing it, of course. Because even though I think you know what, I'll be quiet. He's
Let me find out Vargas teaching him some shit, huh? There's more to the Vargas connection than meets the eye, BVO. You're not telling the whole story, BVO. Hmm?
Oh
I
man.
hear what you're saying, BVO, and I agree for the most part, but every promoter has a couple of fighters that they don't,
Hmm.
particularly it's par for the course, man. That's just the way it is, man. But we're not gonna wait any more longer. I'll text Oquendo after I hit the end live and shit. But you got any parting words, Thomas?
No, I mean, everything was great. I appreciate you for giving us the opportunity to speak with Frez. I mean, I always wanted to speak to Frez Akendo. This was a great one. This was good. I mean, I was pretty shocked with that last story, but this is what some fighters have to go through. Maybe to not that extreme, but but that's why we're doing this. And shout out to KG with the idea, man. This was a great one.
Yeah, KG thought I was gonna go left field with it. Out, man. Come on, man. Stop. If anything, Frez was trying to push it that way, not me. I was trying to stop it and halt it, but
hey man, Fred was telling the B-side story. That's what he was telling. So hey,
Oh,
who
oh,
am I to tell the B-side storyteller not to tell a B-side story? So hey.
I I get it.
No man, like I
But you
said,
gotta put things in perspective. When he was talking about his kids, I had to give him the story of what went wrong with my kids, so he
yeah.
understood that
Hmm.
there's an ending to this. There's gonna be a leveling out of that. They'll be okay. It's gonna be a headache now, but it'll be okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was the purpose of me saying that.
Once it clears all out, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yep. But no, man, it's another good one, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we did double duty today, and that's not going to be an ongoing thing. So y'all tap in next week. We're gonna get Ishay Smith on, and fellas, I'm
That
I'm waiting to hear back from Jerry Force now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see if we can get big draw. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Force
He
on.
got a fight lined up, right? I thought I saw an
Yeah,
announcement.
yeah, he has a fight
Yeah, I
line.
could have saw because I follow him. Yeah.
So
we got to stay in communication then, because I don't want to look for nobody, and I don't want to
yeah, I know.
set Sunday up too far out. 'Cause, well, they'll forget by the time it gets here, so
Yeah.
I don't want to.
That's why next week we got Ishay and we ain't got nothing after that right now. So like I said, we gonna it's the game who gets one first. So hey, everybody listening, we don't have nobody after Ishay. It's gonna be there. Whoever jumps out there, whether it's Kano, Thomas, or me, whoever produces somebody, y'all stay tuned.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about calling Kevin Newman and bringing him on.
Do your
Shit.
thing. See? So who you got, Thomas? Who you got?
I got a couple guys in mind. I think Iceman Scully would be good
See,
because
look at
he
that.
comes in
Iceman
as a,
Sully, Jared
you know,
Forrest, and Kevin Newman.
so
Hey, y'all stay tuned. Y'all
I
stay
kind of
tuned.
want to bring. I want to kind of bring Kevin as soon as possible. Now that Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro.
Hey, hey, you can do that too. So,
You
like I
know,
said, whoever gets them tag gets back to base first.
yeah.
BVO said, "Go get a broom and sweep out front."
Yeah, he swears I work in a bodega. This guy's the worst.
You gotta go. You gotta go spray the sidewalk on.
Oh, man, listen, everybody, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Hopefully, y'all smash the like button, man. I'm not one that always asks if you share, but if you did like it, share it. What the hell? It ain't gonna hurt you nothing to hit the share button. And if not, that's cool too. But hit the smash the like button or the dislike button. It don't matter, man. This is always brought to you by CO Management, DV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the mighty LDBC. Local
Respect.
TV. Man, we up out of here, man. You already know what it is.